Hey everyone, my name is Brandon, and today we're going to be discussing our FSBO success story and how we sold our house for $685,000. So you hear this acronym being used a lot, especially in today's market, FSBO. And FSBO basically stands for sale by owner. And what that means is essentially you're taking your house and you're putting it out there by yourself without using a licensed realtor to act on your behalf of that sales transaction. So why did we decide to sell our house? It's pretty simple. I mean, the housing market right now is definitely a seller's market. We wanted to take advantage of that market, being a seller of our house, and we knew that our house wasn't a house that we were gonna live in forever. This wasn't a house that we saw raising our three children. So we decided to take advantage of the market and list the house. So I'm going to discuss some key steps that we took as we prepared to take on this experience listing our house for sale by owner. Okay, so step one, you need to research what a FSBO transaction is. What do I mean by that? There's a lot of things that are different from a FSBO experience, FSBO transaction compared to a standard realtor experience. And it's very important for you to understand the differences that you're going to be responsible to take on if you choose to list your house for sale by owner. There is a lot of risk that you take as a seller when you're taking on a FSBO transaction. A lot of the things that the realtor is taking responsibility of covers you in a lot of ways that you don't have coverage for with the FSBO experience. For us, I felt very comfortable taking on those responsibilities, and I knew that I could put some mitigations in place to help protect me and my wife as the sellers. Okay, so now you've made the decision that you're going to step out and list your house for sale by owner. One of the first things and most important things that you'll want to do is you'll want to look at your house and start decluttering your house and start preparing to stage your house for pictures. For us, we decided to move into a fifth wheel the day that we listed our house on the market. So what that meant is we removed all of the clothes inside the house. We removed everything in the basement. We removed everything in the garage. Everything that was in the kitchen cabinets, everything that was in storage cabinets, we had pulled out and either threw away, sold, or moved into our fifth wheel. So essentially, as you're walking into our house to look at it from a buyer's perspective, you're not going to see anything other than what we've used to stage the house. Now, depending on how cluttered your house is, how many things that you have in your house, that's really going to dictate how quickly you can put your house for sale. For us, we had a deadline that we needed to make, so we started the process about 3 to 5 months out is when we started the decluttering process. For you, that might be 2 months, that might be 3 months, that might be 1 month. So it's important for you to understand what is going to be required for you from the decluttering perspective in order to have a successful FSBO experience. Okay, the next element of a FSBO sale is you have the ability to utilize what they call a flat fee broker. Essentially what that means is it's a company that you can hire through a flat fee in order to list your house on the MLS. There's a lot of different brokers out there. If you just type in flat fee broker, you'll get a lot of different companies. For us, we decided to go with a flat fee broker, and we paid an additional price in order to receive all the state and federal disclosures that were required for us to fill out. Another upgrade that we made when we hired a broker is we paid a little bit more in order to make up to 10 changes to our MLS listing. I highly recommend that you pay a little bit more in order to make changes to your MLS listing. Some of the changes that you might see or might have to make is price changes, description changes, phone number changes, simple things that might be in your listing that you need to update. Okay, the next critical step here is to hire a professional photographer. It's very important for you to market your house in the best possible way, because you do not have a realtor that's going out there and talking to other realtors out in the market, bringing traction in through their experience, talent, and resources. So you're really utilizing that photography to capture the biggest audience possible. Once we found the photographer that we wanted to hire, they had multiple packages that you could choose from. Basically a 3-tier package system, and we chose the tier 3 package. Reason being is that package included a 3D walkthrough of the entire house, aerial, video, and photography, high definition photos. It also included a digital brochure and a YouTube video of the entire house. So in our experience, it was worth paying that extra money because we were going to make that up at the back end when we received an offer. So it's important to remember the whole reason that you're listing your house for sale by owner is you're trying to save cost on the realtor that you would be potentially hiring and paying that commission to. So because you're not paying that 2% commission, you really want to invest the necessary money into hiring a professional photographer that's going to market your home the best way possible. Okay, another thing that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to start interviewing real estate attorneys. So that attorney is going to be there to help you with the legality of the contracts that you're going to be receiving from the buyer's agents. Now this is optional. It's not, in my state, it's not required to have an attorney when selling your house by yourself. But it's always good to have that resource that you can plug into if you start looking through your contract and you're seeing verbiage that you're unfamiliar with. So what we did is we interviewed about 8 different attorney offices, and it's important to, when you're conducting your interview, to get a accurate price cost based off of the services that they will potentially give you. A good example here is some attorneys will just charge you per hour, and some attorneys will charge you per contract that they are going to review and provide feedback to you. So every attorney is different. Every attorney has different prices. So if you are going to interview attorneys and figure out if that's going to be something that you want to include in your FSBO transaction, just be very thorough, ask them as many questions as you can, and get a better understanding of what actually they're going to bring to the table to benefit you as a seller. Another thing that I did was I purchased a burner phone from Walmart. Why did I do that? Well, when you're listing your house on the MLS, your phone number, your email, everything is going to be listed in that description for realtors to contact you. Another thing is, when you're listing your house for sale by owner, what you're going to find is realtors will contact you that have no interest of buying your house, but they want to be the ones to sell your house. So me, I didn't want my personal number out there, so what I did is I just bought a generic cheap flip phone from Walmart, and I used that number for all of the transaction and coordination, and then I also created an email account strictly for selling our house. So for us, our broker partnered with an app, and and it's called the SHOWINGTIME app. And this app is used for scheduling showings by the realtors, the buyers' realtors. For us, it was very easy for those realtors to request showings. We could either accept, deny, or we could request a new time. And those realtors could then provide feedback after their showings back to us, all in one app. So for us, it was very convenient. It reduced a lot of the headache that comes with having a lot of showings hit at one time. And for us, we used that SHOWINGTIME app after we accepted an offer in order to coordinate any appointments that they needed for inspections. Okay, so now you've begun the process. You've gone through some of the steps required to have a successful FSBO experience. Now I kind of want to talk through some of the tasks that you should be completed with prior to listing your house on the MLS. Okay, so task 1, your house has been staged and it's been professionally photographed, and you've received all of those pictures, videos, material back to you, ready to upload into your MLS listing. The next task is your broker has been selected. Next, your attorney has been selected, or you've interviewed attorneys in order to hire them as needed. Next, your pictures and all of your disclosures have been submitted to your broker in order for them to upload into the MLS. Now, the important part here is you want to make sure that you submit all of those documents, all those disclosures, all the pictures, all the links, no later than 7 days before you want to list your house on the MLS. Why do I recommend 7 days? Simply put, it takes your broker time in order to review all those documents, all those disclosures, to make sure that it's filled out correctly, and you don't want to be behind the curve, or you want to allow time to fix documents, to fix issues before your house goes live. So you don't want to be submitting your documents 2 days before you want the house to go live, because most likely it's not going to happen that quickly. Next, if you decide that you want a burner phone, you'll go out and purchase one of those, and you'll want to ensure that that number and email address that you've created is listed in your MLS listing. Okay, and the last step that you want to take before you list it on the MLS is you want to go out and purchase a for sale by owner sign and put that out in front of your house. So we had completed all those steps. The house was ready to go live. Everything was completed. Everything was signed. The broker was ready to go, ready to publish it on the MLS, and we decided to list our house for $699,000, and we listed our house on October 1st, 2021. Other thing that we decided to do was pay the buyer's realtor 2% commission for the sales transaction. Now, you can look and see during your market research what is a typical percentage of commission in your area. For us, that ranged from 2.5% to 3%. We knew that the house was going to sell quickly. We knew that it wasn't going to take much for a realtor to close on our house. So we decided to put it at 2%, which was below the market average. Okay, so October 1st comes, our house goes live. What we found is, because we had listed our house FSBO, and because we had listed it at a 2% commission, we saw a decline in traffic to our house. So we were under the impression that we were going to get 10 appointments that weekend, and we only had about 2 to 3 showings. We also received feedback from some of those realtors that said that the list price was above what they thought the house should be listed at. So after 9 days of the house on the market, we decided to drop the price by $20,000. So on October 9th, we had updated the MLS listing to $679,000. Once we dropped the price down to $679,000, we saw a tremendous incline of interest in our house. 4 days later, we received an offer for $685,000, which is $6,000 over our new asking price. So we received the written contract. There was one contingency, which was the sale of their current home from where they were moving from. And for us, we knew that that wasn't going to be an issue. The buyers had requested zero closing help. They had, in the contract, they had written the house as is with inspection. For us, we had built this house back in 2019, so we knew that there was no structural damage, no significant issues at all with the house. So we were okay accepting the contract with the inspections. And for me, there was nothing in the contract that I didn't understand. I was able to comprehend all of the legality of the contract. There was nothing in there that seemed off, that seemed like it was being slipped in. So for me, I felt comfortable signing the contract. My wife felt comfortable signing the contract without us hiring an attorney to review it. And in the end, we had no issues. We were able to save costs from not hiring an attorney, and it worked out for us. So after all the inspections had been done, there was no significant issues that came from the inspections, and the buyers did not request any type of compensation or request any type of fixes to be made to the house. So at that point, we were just waiting for their house to clear from their other state in order for us to get the green light from the lender and the title to schedule closing. So once again, all of that communication was being made from myself to the buyer's realtor. All the questions that I had about the status of the sale of their other house, the realtor was able to provide information for me. The only request that they had was their house had been, the sale of their house had been delayed about a week, and they had to move to our state that week. So they requested what you call a pre-settlement occupancy agreement. For us, we felt comfortable doing that. It was only a week. We felt comfortable that the sale of their house was going to close. And what we did was I received confirmation from the title company that was closing on their other house to provide a clear to close disclosure. So I knew that there was nothing that was going to stop or that was going to halt the transaction of their other house. So once we got the clear to close from the title company, we were able to schedule the date for both parties to meet to sign paperwork. I had the title company send me all of the prices for the closing on what we were going to be paying. The title company requested the payoff from my mortgage company. So all of the documents I had reviewed prior to sitting down at the table to sign our documents. And it was pretty easy. I mean, we got there, we were out within 20 minutes. We had signed all the documents, and that afternoon we received all the proceeds for the sale of our house via wire. Okay, so here are the final key takeaways if you are thinking about listing your house for sale by owner. Market research is very important in order to understand what is the appropriate price to list your house. You're going to want to make sure you're very thorough with your market analysis so you don't list your house too high or too low, and that really is what sets the tone for your FSBO transaction. You're going to want to pay that extra price to list your house on the MLS because that's going to going to increase the market tremendously on the individuals that will have access to view your house. If you choose to use a flat fee broker, pay that extra money to make changes to your MLS listing. For us, we ended up making, I think, about 5 changes. So for us, it made sense. And you're going to make changes. When you're listing your house for sale by owner, most likely you're going to find something in the description, or you're going to have to update the list price if you need to. And you don't want to pay extra for that when you can pay it up front in a package and save money. Next, just have an attorney that you can reach out to if you decide to utilize an attorney to review contracts that you receive from buyer's agents. Next, just pay to have a professional photographer come in and properly market your house, because that is really what's going to set your house apart from other FSBO homes, and it's going to bring you much more value, and you're going to be able to receive a higher offer for your house by using a professional photographer. Okay, and my final tip, which is probably the most important tip, is be confident in your decision to list your house for sale by owner. There's going to be a lot of people that are going to tell you it's not smart to list your house for sale by owner. There's going to be a lot of realtors that are going to tell you you're going to make more money by using a realtor. It's going to be a safer option for you to use a realtor. And you know, in some aspects that might be true, but you still have that option and that ability to list your house by yourself if you choose. So if you do make that decision, be confident in that decision. For us, we had a lot of realtors that were looking at the house that were pretty adamant toward us about our decision to list it for sale by owner and how they didn't agree with it. But at the end of the day, it's your decision. If you do decide that you're in over your head, you can always step back and hire a realtor to finish the transaction for you. But in our case, we made the decision. We set ourselves up for success, and we walked through the process without any issues and didn't have to utilize a realtor. If you like this material, we are documenting our journey by listing our house, selling our house, and moving full-time into a fifth wheel. We are documenting that experience. We have 3 small children, and we would love if you would go ahead and subscribe to our channel, where we're going to we're going to talk about our experiences. We're going to share a lot of great content about living in a fifth wheel full-time. So we hope that you join us. We also have an Instagram and a Facebook. If you go ahead and search the Narrow Road Family, you'll find us there. Thanks for watching the video, and we'll see you soon.